my granddad used to say, act like a lady, get treated like a lady. That's just
that phase, dude.
Act like a lady.
Yeah, get treated like a lady.
Yeah, that's fair. So what if we switch that around to the guy narrative and say, I'm going to act any type of way and then want women to respect me regardless? It would be asinine. It would be like, what? You want to just do lawlessness, sit on the couch, eat Cheetos, do nothing productive, and then say, yeah, I want all women to respect me because I'm a male.
Yeah.
It would be asinine. But
there's a lot of dudes with those unrealistic expectations nowadays.
There's a spirit of delusional in the land. Delusion in the land. Everybody has subscribed to just complete like irrational logic. And so I don't think it's unreasonable to ask, hey, I want my lady to be a lady if I'm going to step out and show chivalry. Because watch this.
2, 1, back at it. Pastor Joe, Uncle Joe, Nephew A. Glad to have you guys back on here, man. I'm ready for some more Gentleman's Guide handbook lessons.
Let's do it. Thank you for having us. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for extending your resources to us and inviting us on the show. It's a pleasure to be here. Every time you ask is a hard yes, man. You've overcame a lot. I see the future.
Thank you.
It's great. So thank you for having us. I appreciate this opportunity.
Hey, I appreciate you guys coming on here and just sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and all your experiences with me. And there's a lot of different ways a man can be a gentleman.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I would say so, at least.
There's variables to it.
There are variables, and there are some consistent, too, on there. But I think every guy has his own way of being a gentleman. Now, you teach younger men to be gentlemen. You're on the Gentlemen's Club.
Yeah.
Right. So what are some of the consistent that you say that every man needs to have in order to be a gentleman?
In a one-word answer, accountability.
Okay.
So if a man has never had the opportunity or had the nature to be corrected by a man, science has proven you run into certain dilemmas growing as a man.
A little bit there.
So science has proved that if you have never had any form of correction by another man, like father, uncle, dad, coach, a granddad, as a young boy in adolescence all the way up into your maturity, it's problematic because when you get in the real world, it's hard for you to work with people and others and then govern things with discipline. So it's very valuable to have wise counsel, not just wise counsel, just another man to sit in the place
of role model.
Correction. Yeah. To sit in that seat to just advise and govern and be a correction authority guy, figure, whatever the case, it has to be present at some point in a man's life. If without that, this is where you get complete lawlessness. So yeah.
I mean, I think the difference between what he just said and what you said, a role model is someone you're looking up to, but that doesn't always mean that,
role model doesn't equate to someone who's a gentleman.
And he doesn't always hold you accountable, that role model. That's just someone you look up to, someone that you can kind of follow in their footsteps and, kind of strive to be like them. But that's not to say that they're trying to correct you and, shape you to be a better dude.
Right.
He is my role model, but he's a bad example because he does both. But like, I would say that,
wow, I'm honored, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I have my Uncle Jack, let's say Uncle Jack.
Okay.
He, would maybe be a good role model to somebody somewhere, not me. But he's not going to be the person to, tell you, hey, you can't do these things, but that's not to say he's not a role model. He's just not going to go out of his way to, correct you on things.
Right.
And I just think what he's saying is definitely different from a role model.
Right.
So there has to be some relational equity there. So in other words, you just can't go and just say, hey, I'm your uncle, do this. The relational equity, that person, that male has to have a safe haven to know this person is advising because they have my best interest at hand. And so if there's no best interest, there's going to be a defense, especially if it's never been done. So that's why we encourage people to get involved with sports, music, things where there's a coach and there's some advising, there's some correction. Because if you don't have that, just imagine this young boy grows up, has never had that. He goes in the real world, no gifts, no ability to make friends. who is he going to work for without being able to be?
That's a lot of young men these days.
Right.
And I'm not even talking about kids without dads. There's a lot of kids without dads that don't have that one. It's because they get too addicted to like the computer and shit now, and too addicted to the virtual world.
Yeah, the computer has enabled humanity because these guys nowadays, they don't even know how to shake hands, look you in the eye, shake hands, let alone put a suit on, get ready for a job interview, have a dialogue, look at a man in his eye. They don't even know that part. They're not even at that part yet. We're at the very immature stage. It's like, hey, extend your hand, make a handshake, look a man in the eyes, be attentive, get off your phone. Especially when you're in an opportunity to get a job or something where that's going to benefit you, you have to be 100% in with everything, check mark, personality, hygiene, dialogue, body language, all those check. That's not being taught at school. And it's not been taught on the tablet. So what happens, they get in the real world, they can't have a, hey man, how's the game? It's weird. It's awkward because they have never been in this foreign land before. And so I watched Ray grow up and he's got all the skills. He made friends. He played sports. This is what evolved him. He gets opportunity. Like you traveled to probably at least 16 states already. And he's under 30. And travel because of the opportunity relationship. He goes here, and relationship is the currency of life now. It doesn't matter how much money you have, what your background is. If you don't have relationship, there's no currency. You can have all the money in the world and be miserable because you don't have anybody to spend with, to share with, to have holidays with, genuine friends, wise counsel, somebody that can be honest with you. And it stems from, I wouldn't say it just stems from the gentleman's guide, but it's even a biblical principle with currency in relationships. I get passionate. I love this.
Yeah. No, I love it too.
I don't want to dominate the conversation.
No, you're good. I want to ask Ray here something though real quick. Like, I want to ask you, both you guys this question. Like, what do you guys, is chivalry dead nowadays? Because you hear a lot of people say that, especially, you know, man, and I think
first.
I'll let you go first. Well, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm engaged and I have maybe opened the car door for my girl maybe once. The whole time.
Okay.
You know, I've done other things that show that I'm chivalrous. You know, me fucking just working like 3 jobs right now to support her while like she raises a kid. You know, we do different things, you know, cooking dinner, cleaning up around the house, whatever. I do whatever I can to show her that I love her and try to be chivalrous. That's why I say there's consistency in being a gentleman. There isn't. Everyone has their own way to be a gentleman. Maybe some dude get in the corridor, that's the way in. For me, it's not. I'm not it. That's also my ADHD. I can't remember to open the corridor for someone.
Wow.
Come on. When's the last you opened the corridor for your girl that you're seeing now?
I'm a gentleman.
Every time.
Every time. I swear by
I don't know.
Okay, so look. Probably I would say 87% of the time
you open the car door.
Last night I played men's league basketball. I got hurt. And so on the way out, I told her I'm not going to open your door.
Do you pull the chair out for dinner table? That's another thing. I don't know if I maybe have done that like once or twice when we go to a fancy restaurant.
I do all that. I swear by the gentleman's guide because if I don't, it's flaming hypocrisy because I'm teaching it. So if somebody see me out with a lady and then I'm not adhering to the principles of the gentleman's guide, I'm flaming hypocrite now because I'm not practicing what I preach. I'm not executing what I'm telling other guys to do. So I have to do it.
Fair.
If I'm, especially in public too, because I don't know who's watching. Somebody had a video of me. We were sitting in a restaurant and somebody had a video of me and I didn't even know they was recording. So if I wouldn't have pulled the chair out and put the napkin over.
Dude, your life would have been over. You've been all over social media. They would have been fucking busted. Went out to dinner, didn't pour the chair out for us.
And I don't know how I didn't see them because they were literally like a table over it.
Well, we gotta let Ray go now about chivalry in his generation because we're all in different generations too right now.
I don't think it is dead. Part of that though is from him. Everything he was saying is true. He is that way, and that's something I've
seen him do it.
Yeah, and like I've picked up on that just over the years, and like I think part of our family is kind of just like that anyways, just like with, you know, when they raise us, they teach us to be chivalrous. And I think that what you were saying is also true where it's like, it looks differently for everybody. I don't think it is dead, but like some people's chivalry is something different to them. Like you said, it's working overtime, making sure you have extra money to, you know, let her go shopping on your car. You know, that is considered
even
chivalry,
just
I'd
doing
say,
the
too.
dishes too. It's not even a money thing
like,
right
it doesn't
now.
always have
To me, like it's evolved
share.
into a money thing just because she's not able to work now. So like in my personal experience, that's what it's came to. But I tell my friends this all the time. Like if you guys ever have a kid one day, like going to work is a lot easier than being stuck with the baby 24/7.
Yeah.
I feel like I get breaks.
So yeah, and this is going to get dicey now. This is going to upset a lot of people. But chivalry is not granted to everybody. City girl does not get granted chivalry.
So you have to earn chivalry being a woman.
Yeah,
if you're not a respectable woman, you don't deserve to get the dinner chair poured out for you,
no,
the car door
you gotta
open
earn
for
that,
you. Or even holding the door open when you're walking in.
Well, I mean, it depends on. I mean, hold the door for a woman. I mean, that's just an absolute. You're just supposed to do that. But when you go above and you're doing things like taking off your jacket and letting her walk on your jacket in the rain, or giving her your coat because it's snowing, or opening the door, pulling the chair out, grabbing her, walking on the end part of the street, the outside of the street, doing these things. Those things have to be earned. You just can't behave any type of way and then get the lady treatment. That's an imbalance. If a woman's gonna do all the crazy stuff, the OnlyFans, the porn, and then to do all this crazy stuff.
I'm gonna challenge you a little bit here because a lot of people, they're gonna listen to this and they're gonna know you're a pastor and they're gonna call you out for saying a pastor should probably respect and treat everyone with chivalry, regardless of how they act.
Well, the Bible,
and it may not even be a pastor thing. Some people are just gonna say that. Regardless, no matter what you do in life,
I don't mind that challenge. I will take it on, and I have a biblical foundation to prove what my argument is. This is not just Joe Webb philosophy. This is not that. But we are supposed to assess the fruit by the tree by the fruit that it bears. So if I say, look, man, I'm looking at and I'm observing these are the behaviors that goes against our moral code, that goes against our personal convictions, we are granted the ability to treat you according as Christians, as believers, as human beings. At first, I'm a human being. I mean, we're a slave to humanity first. So if something that will cause humanity to be disconnected, like promiscuity, this lawlessness, we can assess that and see. The problem with today's society, we use judging as a word for unaccountable. We substitute it. We're not judging. Judging is the capacity to correct and give consequences for the actions displayed. You see, I don't have the authority. So say, for instance, if Ray said, hey, look, man, I'm going to come in here and I did crystal meth. I can't judge him. You can't judge him because we don't sit in the capacity to give consequences and repercussions for the actions displayed. But if he had a probation officer, and they found out that's consequences and actions, the consequences for his actions displayed. Judging has to have a couple components to it. It has to be able to give consequences and correction and for actions that are displayed. That's what judging is.
Yeah. So only like a person from authority can judge.
Yeah. So people use this. Oh, don't judge me. I don't want to be judged. It's not. It can't be judged. We don't have the authority to judge because you have to have that component with giving consequence.
See, the thing I disagree about that is, it's that every police officer now has authority over everyone. So you can be some dude who got bullied in high school, have a GED, go to the police academy. Now all of a sudden you have this, divine power.
It's not
and
divine.
You're now your authority.
It's not a sovereign
figure
authority
over everyone.
But they have to be.
But you know what I mean, though. Like,
I see your argument. But it's going to be challenging to endorse that because they are under submission to a higher authority. And so they can't mess up. And so this is, it's not as big as quandary as we're making it. I think that the judgment conversation normally is rooted in, I don't really want to talk about what my actions are, or I don't want you to assess it.
I don't want you to call me out.
Yeah, that's usually, that's the nucleus of it. And so the judgment for me saying, hey, every woman does not just get granted chivalry just because she's a woman. I mean, with the basics, open the door, don't let somebody just beat up a woman, steal her purse.
Yeah.
But when you go beyond and you're purposely saying, look, I'm trying to display chivalry for you, that's not granted for everybody. I think that's fair. I think that would be fair. But if we
definitely agree with him on that. And that's just in a sense of like you were saying, like the basic principle of like chivalry is always there. But like when I'm going above and beyond, that's because I value you more. I see a future with you more. Like that's not something I'm just doing for everybody. And that's not like a shot at those people. It's just saying like, there's certain things that I'm looking for, and it's like I'll be a nice dude and like I'll do these things, but like if I'm going out of my way to do things, like there's a reason for it. It's because like you were saying, they offer more respect and like you respect them, and like there's a noticeable difference when you're going from someone that will keep your term a city girl to just say like a more formal and a formal girl. We'll say
it could be dangerous too. It could be dangerous too. My granddad used to say, "Act like a lady, get treated like a lady." That's just
that phrase, dude.
Act like a lady.
Yeah, get treated like a lady.
Yeah, that's fair. So what if we switch that around to the guy narrative and say, I'm going to act any type of way and then want women to respect me regardless? It would be asinine. It would be like, what? You want to just do lawlessness, sit on the couch, eat Cheetos, do nothing productive, and then say, yeah, I want all women to respect me because I'm a male. Yeah. It would be asinine. But
there's a lot of dudes with those unrealistic expectations nowadays.
There's a spirit of delusional in the land. Delusion in the land. Everybody has subscribed to just complete like irrational logic. And so I don't think it's unreasonable to ask, hey, I want my lady to be a lady if I'm going to step out and show chivalry. Because watch this. If you went out with your lady and she's friendly and she's talking and laughing, touching, feeling with every guy's.
No, I actually know someone, I think you might know her too, that is very, you know who I'm talking about already. Yeah. And I love her. Like she's like one of the nicest people you ever meet. Yeah. And I've met her husband too. Great dude. She's been on the show before, but she's a very touchy-feely person. Like she'll be running up to people, hugging them, grabbing them. And like even me, and I talked about this, like, cause my fiance, she knows her too. Like we're all friends. And we've talked about it before. I just told him like, hey, like I know she means well, but that'd be a lot if you were dating a person like that. For me personally, always running up to other dudes, like touching them, grabbing them, hugging them. I'm not talking about like guys she's good friends, like strangers, like at the bar and shit. People you don't even know.
Unacceptable.
That'd be tough.
That's unacceptable.
Agreed.
That's unacceptable behavior. Like you can't just random men, because men see that as like, oh, is that your way of availing yourself? Because it's not the norm. A lot of women don't do that. They don't touch you unless there's a rapport built, where then it starts on the arm and then it gradually gets better. But that's not. She's out of the origins of how women usually act, and so it's like what it's questionable behavior.
Very.
And I don't think any guy would say, yeah, I'm okay with this. My woman could just go up and run and hug and kiss other guy. I didn't see a lot of the behavior, but I was told that individual does that, and I was like, "Why you cannot do that with me?"
I don't think it comes from like a place of like ill intent or anything, but I just know that most guys, I think, in a husband, like he puts up with it because he loves her, but if you could choose her not to act like that, he would 100%.
Do you think she knows what she's doing?
I think so. Yeah, I think she would. Yeah.
If you were out with a girl,
wait, can I get one of those, by the way? Right, one. Grab yourself another one too if you want.
If you were out with a girl, Ray, and you took her out, and you guys are just talking, and then she's like, "Excuse me," it's like, or doesn't say you're in mid conversation. She gets up and runs and hugs, runs and goes and grabs and hugs another guy. Doesn't introduce you and be like, "Oh yeah, that was just Johnny," and comes back to the table like, "What?
Were you done?"
Yeah.
Oh, what? Come on. Like no, that's ridiculous. Like I don't think that's something I could just brush by. Like, and I think, like I asked you, like, do you think she knows what she's doing? I don't think there's a situation like that where they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's like you're not touching arms and like giving other men hugs and not thinking.
Yeah, running up, boobies bouncing up and down, and you're just sprinting over there to them.
You know, if you're being a little flirtatious, like that's a very
and some people they just have a flirtatious personality.
But I think there's a difference between a flirtatious personality and taking it a step further by getting your hands involved. And, interaction and touching, that's a way different thing than just like flirting a little bit.
And like you said, you always know what you're doing, because I've had dudes tell me like, oh, it's just I just have a flirtatious personality. But like you've had people say that it's like a kind of a cop out. That's just how I am. It's just my personality.
And I mean, how can you combat that? You have to just sure.
It's almost like a trump card that people like using nowadays. Well, it's just how I am. It's just my personality. So if you can't accept that, then you can't accept me.
That's kind
of how they spin it, though.
Almost repulsed by that kind of behavior. It's accept me in spite of anything I do, and I want no accountability for my actions at all. So I could possibly do something harmful to you, anybody, and then if addressed, I'm just gonna say that's just me. This is what I do. I just go and make people uncomfortable and do these behaviors, and when addressed, it's like, oh, hands off. I just do it. If you don't like me, if you don't accept that, you don't like me. Well, I guess you won't be part of this thing.
Yeah, and like when that thing happens, they'll say something like that, because right when they say that, you're immediately on the defense from there on out, and anything you say is going to get used against you. Right. It's a really good tactic.
It is actually when you think about it. It's got me probably hundreds, thousands of times by now throughout my life.
Doing what?
When people just say, "Oh, the tactic move," where it's like, "Oh, that's just how I am." And then if you're a kind-spirited person, like I feel like all of us in this room are, you'd be willing to be like, oh, okay, I know that's just how you are. I know you didn't mean in any ill intent, but they know that's what they're doing, though.
Yeah, I think all my inner circle knows I genuinely care for people, in humanity. If somebody's around me long enough, they know that I'm a slave to humanity. I love humanity, you see, and so I can't love you and care for you as a friend, a brother, family member, and allow that behavior without questioning it, because then that's going to make the whole unit look bad. Let's just say there's a narrative. Let's say, hey, I am obnoxious for cutting people off and swearing at them, right? And that's just me. That's just me, right? I would question who's around that person that hasn't told him this is unacceptable behavior. You can't.
And now that goes back to the beginning of what we talked about with the gentleman's guide, and not having that figure around you to hold you accountable and tell you what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable. Or my friend that runs around and like hugs random strangers and whatnot, like once she's with her husband or boyfriend, she probably does that because no dude in her past told her that's not acceptable. So now you get so far in the stage of life where it's like you just get to an age where you don't change people.
When you stop learning, that's a bad when an individual has to stop learning and they're at their peak of knowledge and how they're gonna behave. That's a downfall. That's your demise. When you're, as human beings are supposed to keep evolve with our vocabulary, our mindset, all our relationships. We're supposed to keep evolving, and so when somebody has shut the door on that, it almost makes the group toxic. It calluses the growth because they're saying, okay, I'm just done. I don't do that. I got a family member that no matter what they do, it's justified by some,
Do you know who he's talking about? Does he know him? You don't have to say their name. I just wanted to ask him if he could pick up on it right away.
I don't know. He knows too many people for me to just know who he's talking about.
But I don't want to throw nobody under the bus.
Oh.
And there's behaviors where they're like, oh, I did that. Oh yeah. It's some excuse. Well, today's Thursday and or it's just nuts how people want to take no accountability with no humility. If I offend, the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth, I'm sorry. That's not my intent. Forgive me for offending. And that's not the norm. People offend and then they double down on their offense, like, because of this. And
they dig their heels in the ground.
Yeah, but the gentleman's guide is huge on the accountability factor, the wise counsel factor, just the social rules, what not to do, what to do. Like you can't. These are just the rules. These are the parameters. You can't do these things. These are forbidden things. When you step outside of these things, the repercussions are really hard. And so things like, let me give you for instance, things like you see a man out with his lady, you can, hey, how you doing? But there should be no, so what are your weekend plans? The guy is the governor for that conversation.
The guy has to control the conversation.
Yeah. Like, so that's just, these are just the rules. You don't, because at the end of the day, you don't want to put that man in a position when they leave where that woman's like, you don't protect.
I don't know if that's as true, as objective as you're spitting it, because I think there's a lot of soft-spoken men nowadays, and when I say, and I don't mean that in a negative way, dudes that just don't talk much, and they date the more like spicy women because they balance each other out.
That's a different narrative. I'm saying, like, say for instance, your buddy comes in with his girl. Hey, this is let's say Amanda. Let's say this woman, and hey, this is my lady. You're supposed to say, hey, how you doing, Amanda? Good to meet you. Yep. And then we continue dialogue.
And then the men talk. Yeah. And then they stay silent.
But so the wrong thing would be like, hey, man, how you doing? Like, what's your weekend plans? Like, what's going on? I like your dress. Oh my God. Yeah. How you like, you're doing too much. And it puts that woman in a position like, is this guy hitting on me? Or is this guy just really that attentive friend? But you just play by the rules. And even offering something. Hey, y'all want to let me buy your girl a drink? Oh, is everybody want to drink? These are things that are just the rules. Is adhere to the rules. I think everybody should know just how to socially be around women and men, and that's a lost art. It's not being taught. So you get out with guys doing crazy stuff, and it's like, brother, you're not supposed to do that around women. Like, there's a buddy that he gets out with guys, and he kind of clowns. I've seen him do it. And I say,
he clowns other guys.
You can't do. You're not supposed to see. Guys can clown, but we don't. We're on the same team.
Yeah.
When women are present.
But it's different though, because some dudes, and this happened to me a lot when I was younger, and you might have some fun to do this.
I know what he's talking.
A lot of dudes
can't do that.
They'll put a homie down to make a whole smile.
No, you can't do that. That's against.
I know a lot of friends that.
That's against the rules.
Oh, yeah. People that used to be my friends, like back then, like when I was a teenager and like my younger 20s and whatnot.
That's not a friend.
When we would go, and the shittiest thing about that is you guys would be best buds, hanging out cool the whole time. Yeah. And as soon as some females are in the same room as you,
Kevin Hart,
they all suddenly start clowning you. Like,
so the
energy shifts.
And see, when women experience that, they dilute their respect for that man. So that's why it's a forbidden practice. When bros get together,
they dilute the respect for the man getting clowned on.
Yes, because they like his boys don't respect
and they
him.
like the other dude more.
I don't know if that's
but that's their tactic. That's and at the same time, that's kind of on the women though too.
Yeah,
like you see they see his boys making fun of him.
Yeah,
and that somehow makes him less valuable. Yeah, and makes them more valuable.
Yeah. And so when a guy brings his lady around,
I know because it's happened to me, and I've been the dude who's getting clowned
I would probably slap somebody for that. You're a better man than me because that's a no tolerance because that girl sees how he's with his friends, and that's going to carry over to the relationship. She's going to start doing disrespect. So when a friend brings his girl around, it's your pro friend. Hey, oh yeah, my buddy. Yeah, that's my guy. Only positives. Yep. Only positives. Like I got my buddies. If they see my girlfriend, if I bring a lady around, they go up to her. Hey, how did you get Joe? Like you got him? Like, and it's like, it's fun. It
might not mean it. But,
oh man, right. See,
but those are good friends.
Yeah,
right.
You're not supposed to say anything bad about your friend, especially while his woman is present. You're just not. That's just the rule. And I don't know how that's not been manifested itself to guys. Like when women are present, we're all on the same team. We're on like, hey, when I go, you go. When we we find something to laugh at, but we don't clown each other around women. Like my dad taught me that when I was like 11. I was like, we was in the back seat of a car going on a church field trip, and Brian White had brought his girlfriend. And I was saying something about Brian White's tennis shoes, and my dad
started putting them down in front of his girl.
Like, yeah, you never do that. I know y'all young, but you don't do that to me. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And this was one of my good friends. I didn't know the rules. And then it's like, but it makes so much sense. Like you with your buddies, because you can always get another girl. You can't get another buddy. I mean, there is relational equity there too. It depends on how long, but I wouldn't even recommend it. Just looks low when you got.
It does.
It's low quality when you try to attack somebody around their girl. This is not. That's not a classy move for any man to do that. If it has to be some drama addressed, I would recommend pulling that guy aside. Excuse us for a minute. And according to the gentleman's guide, you're never supposed to correct a man while his woman is present, anyways. So if a guy did do something, you're supposed to excuse the woman and have a lingo. Hey, brother, I didn't like what you did. Just in case if violence happened, the woman's still safe.
I think what might help Doug kind of understand your view here. Last time you mentioned rational deduction. You should kind of dive into that and tell him, how you would apply that to this.
So rational deduction is something that keeps you honest and it keeps you stuck in reality. So you have to say, all right, look, this scenario happened. Would I like this? Is this good? If there was a jury here, if there was a camera on and we're just being honest, would this look good in my favor? That's the question you have to ask her. If the answer to that is no, then you have to do the right thing. You have to either say, I'm sorry, forgive me, or change your behavior. Most guys will go with the avenue of just change the behavior, but the rational deduction piece deals with the accountability. Like you have to rationalize, all right, I did this to this dude. I said something around this girl, clowning at him, whatever. Would I like that? And if there was a jury here, if there was people watching this, would this appeal to the eyes? And the answer is no. So you either have to change the behavior or say, I'm sorry, that's just a mark. And so if you have a chance, look at the Red Gentleman's Guide, read it, learn it, master it, and then apply it. But it's necessary. If we don't get a hold of the young men now, we're gonna have another crazy city. Like if we don't get a hold of the youth now, men. Pastor James Thomas has the saying. He says, "When men stand up, boys sit down."
I like that.
When men stand up, boys sit down. And so, but that's the problem with society. There's not a lot of strong men that are advising and governing boys. So you got severe anger issues. I talked to Tyrone Terrell today, the guy that did the Million Man March, and he said he had a good theory. He was saying that if you have a guy that has poverty, no men around him, no wise counsel, no sports or anything like that, that accumulates to a gang member that probably is going to kill people. And I was like, man. And in addition to, and then the last element to it too, the main thing I was going to start with, that last variable was no faith. So with all those components, that's when you get a gang member, is what he was saying. And I was like, man, that's the
recipe.
That's the recipe. With no faith, no discipline, no poverty, like all those components, you're gonna get a gang or somebody that does bad things. It has to happen. It's nature. If you just consider all the guys that got in trouble and just troubleshoot it that way, you're gonna see, okay, this was lacking, this was lacking, this was lacking, and then with no faith, no religion, no kind of thing that gives order to his life, you're gonna end up in prison. That 100%. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off, but this is what I didn't say it this time.
Well, when you look at the statistics, you're 100% right.
See, this is why people hate Joe Webb. Because truth offends. And this is why I started every show, every time I'm invited, considers there any truth in what I'm saying? I can, in any truth in what I'm saying, and then there should be no offense. But the truth offends. If a guy has no wise counsel, no faith, in poverty, and no faith, he is going to jail. No order, no religion. He's going to jail. He's going to jail. It's only a matter of time. And so that's going to offend. But what I'm saying, we know it's true. Statistics are credible.
Yeah.
Science is credible. Do the science. Do the stats behind it. Do the history behind it. And you'll come up with it. And if I'm off, it's only a fraction off. If I was saying all, it might be like 97%. But when you put all those variables into play, you get guys.
Chances of going to jail pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. I kind of want to hear a little bit more about the topics you got, Doug. I know you got a few more things listed on there. I want to see what topics you got for us.
Oh, I got everything I want to I got too many topics for us to even finish them all today, but I wanted to just pick you more about the gentleman's guide here. So where do you seek out these young men, or like, do they come to you?
So I run a men's group where the model is there's no conversation off limits to the rival cabins. I've been doing it for 5 years since I've been a pastor. This is the first thing I did, and I'm proud about this mission. My mentor at the time told me, "Hey, you have to do something to get a strong men unit at the church." And he said, "Don't make it a Christian men's group because you're going to limit yourself." And I was like, "I can't do it."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Man," and they crucified me for it. But it's 5 years in, and it's only growing.
And it's only Christian. Yeah, it's Christian.
No. It's everybody's welcome. That's how I build relationship. Yeah. See, if you only surround yourself with people that only believe like you, it weakens your apologetics. 100%. If you cannot dialogue with somebody that thinks differently or in another philosophy,
that's the best way to expand your mind too.
Yeah, the 5 friendships I think are the best way. I think that's and a biblical foundation. Those two things together, the sky's the limit. So when you have, we explained last time, the 5 friendships.
I think I remember what they were, and I wasn't there that time, but you said you need to have a peer.
You have a peer. You have to have
older than you,
somebody, a mentor. You have to have for the
wisdom. Woman friend who you have no erotic desire for.
That was that's
one of them, right?
Yes.
No, serious. I think that's a good one, actually.
Yeah. But it has to be
because a lot of dudes will feel like they can't be friends with women.
It doesn't work. It's not.
But you say it doesn't work, but you also say one of the 5 friendships is to have a female friend with no erotic desire for
at all. It has to be a very older woman.
So it's be older woman or like do family members count for that?
No, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Which is the most important to you?
Oh, do you have any women? Do you have any female friends that you don't have any erotic desire for? You have one of those friends.
I don't have female friends.
You don't have female friends?
No, that's dangerous. There's no such thing. There's somebody,
because the sex part might get in the way.
There's
a saying that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
Okay, so this is. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
So for somebody to be my friend, they have to be able to embrace harshness. I'm gonna make fun of you. I'm gonna do these things. I'm gonna hold your and that's not what a woman. Most women will be offended by how I am with my friends. I don't change it. So how I'm with my friends. Like how I talk to
you, treat her like one of the guys. Basically. Yeah, and if you didn't have any erotic desire,
and no woman could handle that. I don't think any one of them will be able to handle how I treat my buddies, and so I'm not going to dilute my behaviors to say, oh, I have a woman friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have acquaintance and stuff, but a genuine friend, no, I'm having certain expectations, and a woman friend really couldn't render anything back to my life. You can't hoop. You don't play chess. Like these things are like, okay, this is what I do with my friends. So now it's like, do you play anything? Where are you going to involve me as a friend?
Right.
You just you get protection. Yeah. You get all. I'm paying. You get all.
She gets all the benefits, and you have nothing to gain.
There's nothing
with a woman. With just a woman friend.
Yeah, just a woman friend. Like I got sisters.
Yeah.
I got. Yeah, I don't need that. I got friends, and I got friends I can talk. And then. I'm not bad. I love women. Like everybody says misogyny, and then we say misandry, and nobody knows what that means at all. It's a reverse version of misogyny. So I love women. I think women are God's gift to humanity. If God made any creature better than a woman, he kept it to himself. He kept it to himself. I mean, they give birth, they give life, they nurture, they give empathy, they mother, like they carry us. They
truly are divine.
They're divine. They're heaven. But when you talk about as a friend in my circle, it's like I don't want to put that burden on no woman. She couldn't be my friend because there would be some dishonesty there. Because at the end of the day, some hard questions would have to be asked.
What are those?
Those hard questions would be asked. If we were on an island and temptation happened, would he do it or would she do it? That's a hard question to ask, because if you say yes, then there is no just friendship. One party is desiring that. And I've tried to do for women friendship. I find out they like me. It was dishonest. It was very dishonest. And then it's just dishonest because when a woman plays that game, that's a lot of deceit in there. When a guy plays that, it's deceit too.
No, there's a lot of women that say they have guy best friends.
No, that's not true. That's a biggest lie, because if we can test that theory, pull your phone out. Look, this will get you some rating. Pull your phone out if you got a guy best friends and say what's up with it right now.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I want you. I need you right now.
Yeah, pull and say I'm serious. Put it serious. This is not a game.
Yeah,
and then you have to act according, and then we can assess who's really a friend. And most women know that guy is just.
They just don't want to admit it.
First of all, our creature, men don't do that. That's not the nature of our humanity. We have agendas, male and female. Women want love, guys want respect, and they do whatever it takes to get it. Men want sex, women want love. This is how we are wired. We cannot come out of the origins of God of how he wired us.
Right.
And we can't do that. And so that's a whole nother podcast. So.
What's unfortunate about the guy best friend thing is I think most of the time it's the male that ends up, sabotaging all of it, because at the end of the day, like the dude is really hoping, say she's got a man's already. Once they break up, he's just praying.
He's waiting.
This friendship that's been around for 2 years pays off. It's like, she's going to come to me. She's going to
He's playing the super long game.
And realistically, the girl does think that they are good friends. And it's like the dude's just been playing his part the whole time, hoping that his time comes. Yeah. And they don't really know that because the dudes can put on this front and, it's really hard to read sometimes.
And when she finally breaks up with that guy, and then he tries to make his move, and she just, I just want to be friend. Well, now she lost not only her romantic partner, but her best friend also at the same time. Because one was dishonest.
So-called best friend.
So-called best friend.
It's dishonest. It's dishonest. And then that woman has to expect, okay, like, would you want to, because he's going to ask you, like, I like this, put this interest in other women around you. Most women don't want to embrace that. So it's a quandary. But that honesty piece is important. So this guy that said, did the relationship start off? How did it start off? He tried to holler. She friends on him. He went along with it just for the company. But it's not healthy.
Well, like I said, it is a conjury, right? Because even when you're in a relationship with someone else and she's like, I'm going to go hang out with my guy friends, you don't want to come off as that insecure person. It's like, I don't want you hanging out with your guy friends, or like vice versa. Yeah. It comes off as being very insecure when you tell someone, I don't want you. You can't have friends of the opposite sex.
Right.
See, that's a whole
that makes you look bad.
Yeah, it does.
It's unfortunate that's how that is. But I do agree with you that it does come off as very dishonest. I was that guy. I think most guys at one point were kind of like, they're playing that best friend game with a girl at some point.
Yeah,
another.
Yeah, I didn't fully answer your question. So you said, how do I meet the guys? Because one of my pet peeves is when somebody doesn't answer my question, and then it's sickens.
Yeah, I can't remember, to be honest.
I know what it was. I got a good memory.
Okay.
So we find guys. I run a basketball camp, so those guys carry.
Oh yeah,
over
that's right.
My men's group, guys from church. I make friends easy, and then like my nephews. Like I have some nephews that aren't my blood nephews that I still consider my nephew. I build a trust level, and I live by these rules. I don't advise until somebody inquires.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I stay in those parameters, there's a trust build. If I say, hey Ray, you should do this, you should do. Tell this girl this. No. He's gonna be like, yeah, why are you telling me? But if I wait for him to see something and be like, I'm about to ask my uncle, and then that advice is tangible. He's going to come back and then I don't have to bash information that he's not going to use. And so the rules are, don't advise until somebody inquires. It's just imagine, even with parents and kids, if everybody would live by those principles, wait till somebody inquires before they tell them what they should do, and then advise, and then they will be more receptive. Even kids respect and have more honor for their parents. But what parents do, they tell them what they should do. And that's a nasty thing to do, is tell somebody what they should do without them asking. It's just like, what if I tell? Yeah, you should put that. Like it just comes off distasteful. Mm-hmm. Telling somebody what they should do. But if I wait and you ask me my opinion, the math is higher that you will take my advice. And then I have some rules with that. You can't come to me with the same problem if you don't take my advice. I got a buddy of mine. He comes to me with this burden with what he's going on with this lady that's doing crazy stuff. Hey man, this girl's doing this. She's having videos of her and sending them
shaking her butt on TikTok or
crazy stuff. And you got to leave her alone. She's going to embarrass you. She's going to embarrass you. You can't come.
But because now what they do is they spin it. The one they're making the TikTok videos or gym videos of them doing squats or whatever.
Yeah.
If you say something, you're the insecure one.
Oh. Oh, is that how that works?
That's how it works. Now. That's how.
That's nuts. So wait, so a woman can do like videos showing her butt or whatever, whatever the case.
Yes.
And then if the man says something, he's insecure.
He's the insecure one.
That's nuts.
But it's weird though, right? Because you're the ones making the videos to want the attention.
Yeah.
So who's actually the insecure one?
This makes no sense. It's like you're trying to get attention, and you only try to get attention for a couple reasons. There's something lacking. That's a cry for help. Like this world is getting. I just can't imagine what it's going to be like in like 50 years from now. Like, because if you'd have told me this kind of foolishness was going to go on when I was in high school, I was like, no, the world won't come to this. No, it won't. But now it's you can't say anything. Everybody's offended. You gotta just go with gender talk. Like what is this going on? Humanity, come on, America, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on now. A boy's a boy.
Well, it's not what are we doing, it's what aren't we doing? Is what you gotta be asking now.
Something's wrong
because we're doing everything here.
So something is wrong because you people get offended for what bathroom and like this concepts are like what we're talking about a boy playing a girl sport. Are you kidding me?
And dominating.
It's like what's going on? What are we doing?
Oh, I agree. That's a podcast for a different day. Well, we're almost an hour in here, boys. We'll keep it short and sweet tonight, but we'll end on something a little fun as it's the holidays here coming up here. What do you want Santa to get you for Christmas this year? Start with Joe. Then we'll go Ray, and then I'll go last.
Let me see.
This is a nice holiday podcast.
Oh yeah. Some more resources to evolve this podcast, and you know, I try not to complain, man. Complaining doesn't do us any good. And
no, you're not complaining.
But I mean, what would I want Santa if that was a real thing? Probably. Some J's I've seen today. So there's like these golden.
Yeah, let's make it even better. The most materialistic thing you can want for Christmas. You know, don't say like, I
gotta get a PlayStation. I want a PlayStation 5 with 2K 24 with 2 controllers so I can beat up on all my nephews.
Dang.
How about that?
There's something with you in video games.
I don't play. I really don't play.
But you like talk about them a lot as if you do. It's kind of weird. But you're really bad at them. Like every time we play, you suck. But then
you guys played 2K before?
Yeah, and he's terrible. And I don't play that game.
Yeah, and you spank him, I bet.
Yeah,
I beat him.
People, dude, no offense, but people your age, they just can't game.
Yeah.
You guys can't game.
Age.
Like, it's an age thing.
Yeah,
it's an age thing.
It is. We just know how to use our thumbs.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh man. What about yourself? What do you want for Christmas?
I'll let Ray go, and then I'll say what I want for Christmas. For materialistic greed.
Most materialistic thing I want is I want a new DJ board.
Okay.
The one I have is too small for my hands, I'm noticing. And so if I had one that was like 5 inches wider.
And like an XDJ or like a CDJ. CDJs, those fuckers are expensive. I got a lot of friends who DJ.
This brand Pioneer just like it makes standard ones, but they also have like the ones that 7 Lions are using. People like that. And it's like I would love a 4-deck board.
Yeah.
That would be
4-deck, big deck.
I'm not essentially.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be it.
I would have to go for my materialistic thing, a new graphics card, and then a nice PC gaming monitor. So because you gotta have a graphics card strong enough to power the monitor. I mean, like 30-inch 4K, 1 millisecond response time, all these nerdy stats that don't even really mean anything because our eyes actually can't pick up on shit fast enough. But that would be it. Wow. I have a nice gaming PC at home.
Oh, nice.
What do you be playing on it?
I got a few games I play. I like playing a lot of card games. Sad thing is I got a nice gaming PC, but like the games I play on it, but I use it for editing too and whatnot. Yep. So I play this card game called Hearthstone, some Magic the Gathering online, and then me and my friends will also play World of Warcraft together.
That's
the classic edition though.
Are you into like Diablo then?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not playing currently, but yeah. We played Diablo 4 for a little bit.
I think if you play one, you've touched
I play them all. I'm kind of like I get into phases into it. Like gaming's like an addiction for me.
Oh,
like in a bad way.
Before you can play, you can play.
What's that?
What's the longest you can play?
Oh, dude, I could sit on that thing 12, 14 fucking hours.
No way.
I could. I'd at this point
So
in my
go
life
get food
now,
and come back to the game and play. Go get food. You could 14 hours.
Oh, dude, back when I was a kid, I could play games religiously.
He hasn't had this phase though.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, let me be clear.
Like, I was bad. At this point in my life now, no, because I got a day job. I bartend on weekends. You know, I got kids. So right now, unfortunately I can't play 12, 14 hours a day. But when I was young, if I could, like, say if my wife was like, she's like, hey, I'm going out of town for the weekend, whatever. I could just, I would wake up, go work out, and I'd hop online with the boys. I could sit on there all fucking day.
Wow.
Easily.
Wow. Easily.
Easily.
You can play all day?
Not now, but like at the time he's talking about back then, like when I don't have to work a job to pay for any bills and like, the responsibilities were negative.
Yeah.
Might as well play a game.
But
That's
see,
why I
for
probably
me,
stuck to basketball for a
gaming
while.
is an escape for a lot of people. It's a drug in its own way.
Okay.
When I was younger, it was an escape for me for sure.
Okay.
You also just get into a zone, man. When you're on, you haven't experienced this, but like when you're online and you're with like 5 of your close friends, you're not even really playing the game anymore. You're just hanging out.
Exactly. That's the social aspect to it. Like WoW, World of Warcraft. Like me, like my buddies from fucking high school play that shit.
Yeah.
So when I hop online, like I'll be honest, like if I'm on by myself, like maybe hop on for a little bit and then I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
But if he's like what Ray's saying, if like the whole squad's online, as we're saying, dude, then we're just going,
Wow.
We're laughing, we're talking about life, what's going on.
Lose 10 games in a row.
Yep.
Just playing.
Wow.
We'll do one more. But anyway, we'll wrap this up here. Hey, I appreciate you guys coming. As always, it was fun, dude. Yes. Am I going to see you on New Year's here?
Yeah, both days.
Both days.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you there one of these days.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting experience to bring him to.
What? Oh, one of the things.
I wouldn't wish that upon.
Yeah. Wait. We're wrapping up to
the EDM show.
Yeah. Oh, one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my thing, man.
It is not.
But I can.
That's why I think it'd be funny.
Hold on, I can appreciate I can appreciate good music. I can appreciate good music, and I love all genres. But that jumping and did he tell you? Did you ever share the story? You got to let him share the story.
Chicago.
You got to share the Chicago story.
Go for it. We'll do Chicago story here, quick, if you got it.
All right. Well, I was in Chicago like. I think this one was 2 years ago now. You know Dom Dalla.
Yeah.
I was at a Dom Dalla show, and Chicago has way more homosexual people there than here for sure.
Really?
It's just kind of noticeable at shows, I would say.
Okay.
And like it's just noticeable. It's not that a problem.
Because we got a pretty big gay community here.
We do.
That's saying something.
Yeah, but Chicago, I think it's a bigger city.
Sure.
By a lot.
Makes sense.
And so I was at the show and like I'll just be vibing out, man. Like I'm in my own world.
Yeah.
And so I'm like jumping and then like I'm very aware though. So like all I was noticing was this one person kept ending up where I was.
He was
like,
creeping up on you.
Yeah, for sure. He's like 5'8", 5'7", but like he's close enough where it's like that's the same dude I saw all the way back there.
Yeah.
And then I move.
He's inching.
How many people were there?
Probably like how many people can fit in the army? 8,000?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So probably like 4,000.
So 4,000 people.
4,000 people.
And this one guy keeps appearing where you. So this is not a coincidence.
No.
And like, I'm not an idiot. Like I see what's wearing. I know what I'm wearing. I'm like, something's up. You know, and so I'm dancing and like he keeps in by me. I was by my friend Josh who couldn't make it today. And I'm just jumping and I look over and like he was doing this thing. It's hard to reenact when I'm sitting, but like he was just like swaying his arms.
Okay.
And I look at him and like each like 5 seconds he would be doing it and then look at me while he was doing it.
Nice.
And then look back real quick and I'm just like, okay.
Oh, so you wouldn't make eye contact with
No,
you.
but like I see it happen.
So you were scared. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't make eye contact.
Oh, you would?
He
okay.
was trying to make eye contact to see if I was going that way. But he was doing it. He would try and look at me this way. And I just try to ignore him. Like, all right, this always happens at shows. I went to EDC. It's everywhere.
It gets,
And
you're like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm jumping and stuff. And I'm jumping. And like, I kind of just forget where I'm at and how many people are around me. And I came down and I elbowed him.
Oh, shit.
And I knocked him out.
No.
And so he fell down to the ground. And my immediate reaction was like, Josh, we need to move.
Yeah.
He was like,
you didn't even help the guy up.
He wasn't like dead. I didn't think I hurt him like to that point, but it's like he got hit and he fell down. And like, I was just like, okay, I need to get out of here real quick because I don't want to. It's kind of bad, but like,
here's the best part. Here's the best part. Go. This is the best part. No,
okay. And so me and Josh are walking away, and then I hear it's loud in this club. It's loud. But I hear, wait, wait. And then I turn around and he's like, you forgot to tell me your name. It was the last time I went to Radius for a long time.
Awesome,
it was tough, man. But
maybe
that's
it
Chicago.
was just Molly on feeling good. Oh no.
I don't know, man.
Maybe
you
you're
can tell
just
when people
feeling
are on Molly, they're all chattery, they're like, you can tell.
We got some EDM shows. People are funny, dude. I've been to shows with like some of my exes I went with in the past, dude, and like you have dudes that they'll be dancing, and they'll do it in a way where they'll try to like push you up and then like dance on your girl that you're with.
Oh,
like that's what they do when they're in the crowd. Yeah,
and like,
he knows what I'm talking about. Like,
right.
What, man? Wait, push you up, and then they're gonna dance with your girl.
They do it in a tactical way. Or like they're partying, having a good time. It's just like you said, like little by little, little by little.
But that's not why I do it. But that happens because like there's so many people around you. The last thing you're thinking is, oh, I'm getting bumped. Someone's trying to dance with my girl. They're like you said, they're very tactical about it. Like,
we'll talk about our EDM stories here one of these days. That'll be fun.
EDM.
Yeah. Well, happy holidays, boys. We'll get out of here.
Thank you so much.
Doug Life. Doug Life chose me.
All right.
Peace.